Today I want to talk about why giving up 50% can actually leave you with more. Any big star, Michael Jackson and a manager, any big OnlyFans creator, Sophie Rain, there's so much talent out there in any sports and entertainment world that hasn't been discovered because they haven't gotten the right distribution, the right manager who actually makes their career happen in the OnlyFans world. There's so many creators out there, and 1% of creators make 33% of the whole OnlyFans revenue. And I will change your mindset today. Why the right agency will actually catapult you into a big superstar. First and foremost, the reframe. You're asking yourself the wrong question. How much are I giving away is the wrong question. The right question is what I'm walking away with. Think about it like this. Nobody pays percentages for fun. People pay because they believe the thing becomes bigger. For example, the comparison. Scenario A is a solo creator, makes $10,000 a month, no agency cut. The creator keeps $10,000. But what's happening here? On month 4, the burnout is setting in because you're doing everything alone. You're doing the posting, you're doing the planning, you're doing the content, you do the chatting, you do the thinking, you do all of the above, and then at some point you hit a growth ceiling, right? You can't grow anymore because you have fatigue, you're depressed, and one risk as well, as soon as you're not fit and you're not mentally stable, everything falls and depends on you. So that means that you maybe become sick or you're just not in the right headspace, everything collapses. Versus scenario B, revenue. You make $30,000 a month, the agency cut $15,000. You keep $15,000, right? So on month 4, you're still scaling. You're fresh, you wake up, you perform, you have your schedule, you don't overthink stuff because you have clarity, you have a team behind you who manages everything else. Now in month 12, you make $50,000 because you didn't have that crash or that fatigue. Now you're keeping $25,000 and it's still compounding. And the risk is literally none. The risk is distributed across the whole team. So it's not on just you anymore, and everything depends on you, it's on the whole team. So for references, many models of us wanted to go to a festival, wanted to fly for holiday for a week, wanted to don't work, wanted to just get rid of her phone and just, be zen. And that then is possible because you have a whole team around you. Chatting doesn't stop. The content creation can be paused because we have enough content, the whole library, to just chop up, re-edit, and distribute. So you kept more even after sharing, the percentage stayed the same, the outcome doubled. So you have to have that growth mindset to think long term, and if you have big dreams, then this is exactly how you should think. What girls imagine, the owner pockets 50%, but it's actually not true. In reality, it's split across an entire operation. Think about it like this. You have 24-hour chat team, you have editors, you have backend managers who do the chatting review, you have strategy, you have operations, you have content support, test different things, you have different meetings for growth, you have a whole marketing team doing research, you have ad spend, you have software costs, you have recruiting costs, you have quality control. The whole team needs to be managed and money needs to be reinvested into all of the above in the company for it to scale up. So if you would actually end up hiring all of this individually, would more often cost more than 50%, and you're still managing it. Imagine managing it, all of this yourself as well. So what it actually looks like in the aligned incentives is because the agency makes less because obviously it has to pay staff, pay for software, etc. Everything I showed here. So what it actually looks like is you make 5K, the agency makes 2.5K. You make 20K, the agency makes 10K. There's no vision where keeping you small benefits us. Your slow month is our slow month. We share that same pain because if it's slow for you, it's even more slow for us. But what's actually the hidden costs of not having a team or an agency? Think about it like this. The daily solo loop. You wake up, you check the sales, you reply to messages, then you end up filming for a couple hours, and you edit, and you post, and you think about the next day and the content you do, then you have stress, certain things come up, and that loophole then repeats. So the rest feels expensive because anytime you're resting, you're thinking you're losing money. You post from a negative pressuring mindset, and not from excitement, and the fans will feel the difference. And the cost nobody calculates is energy spent. You have a confidence erosion, your confidence goes out of the window because at some point the burnout kicks in and you're thinking, why is one reel going to 60K? But you don't have the time to analyze why. So you go down to 4K views and that kills your confidence. You start to compare yourself, and everybody knows once the confidence is out of the window, it kind of just feels awkward. Like you start to compare yourself, it's not cool. You end up with creative burnout. You don't have good ideas anymore because you're only gonna have good ideas if you have peace, if you have time to think. But if you're busy all the time doing stuff, you end up with a creative burnout, and your content quality will decline. Revenue will spiral at month 4 to 6. So maybe you have a good start, but then at month 4 to 6, you just hit the same numbers, and that will make you end up being depressed again. So what's the trajectory here? For creator A, solo, make 6K, keep 6K, but on month 4 is burnout, month 5 inconsistent output, month 6 revenue drops to 3K. Now you're stressed, you're second guessing. You kept 100% of a shrinking number. So you might end up making even 10, maybe 15, but at some point you just end up being burnt out. And then why would you want 5K from 5K if you could make 20, 30K effortlessly and keep 15? So creator B with an agency makes 18K, keeps 9K. Month 6 still growing, month 9 still growing. Month 12 you make 30K. That's like a really low expectation. You could do 50, 60 to 100 if you put in the work. Then you keep 15, 30, 50K. Sustainable, supported, and you're still scaling. No burnout. You're just flowing. If you need time off, you can have that. And kept 50% of a growing number. 50% of the growing number is always better than 100% from a little number. So one kept more percentages, one kept more money. The difference compounds. Point number 7, industry research. 480 billion, that's the amount expected and projected value in the creator economy by 2027. That spread of 50 million plus people globally consider themselves creators. That's not just OF, that's any platform, any revenue that's being created from any platform. OnlyFans total platform revenue is $5.56 billion. And what I said earlier, the top 1% of creators earn 33% of all OF revenue. Now, this lets you know that these people, they have an agency, they have a team of A player behind them, pushing them to the max. And that's what you need to make it big. Also, here you can see 180 to 300% average revenue increase for creators with professional management support. So that's what's possible if you have a professional agency behind you. And 18 months average time before solo creators experiences significant burnout or revenue plateau. And that's the max. Like, I've seen that happen much earlier, but you can make it alone if you want to. So the question was never the percentage, it was always the outcome. You always rather have 50% of 100K than 100% of 10K. If you like the info, if you understand more that having an agency just leads you to scale it more and be a bigger star, then definitely follow in. That's my Instagram, and I'll see you in the next one.